What's up guys, my name is Kaluchi and welcome back. Today we'll be talking about the best champions that synergize with Ezreal. I had someone ask me about which champion at the moment is right now the best champion to play besides Ezreal, so I thought, hey, instead of just answering it to one person, why don't I just make a video out of it and talking about all of the supports that are in the game right now. Now this is only based on my opinion, so do not take my word for it. Maybe a champion that I find C tier, which is the lowest, might be A tier or S tier for you. So yeah, let's jump right into it. So first of all, I will start with S and then I will work downwards. I have Yumi and Braum. Now I was a little skeptical about Braum, but the only reason why I put Braum in the S tier is because of his passive and because it's so easy to proc with Ezreal. And you might have noticed already, but when Braum hits a Q on an enemy AD carry and he sees Ezreal go in, usually the enemy AD carry tries to run away, and when they do that, you still get your auto attack and Q, and that makes 3 procs in total. And if Braum can just land one more auto attack or you get the stun and you instantly win the trade. Besides that, we have Yumi for obvious reasons, as we can see in pro play as well. Yumi is just very good on Ezreal because you got that slow on her, and also if you build Iceborne Gauntlet, you got that double slow. It basically makes it impossible for anyone to run away. You can always catch up and you can always kite very well with this comp. And in the laning phase as well, if you turn 6, just press R with Yumi. After they're stunned, press R with Ezreal, double kill. Great combination. So when we move on to the A tier, I've got champions that synergize with Ezreal because of their kit. Basically heavy poke champions, or in some cases, where is it? Oh, I put her in B tier. I will talk about her later on. But basically champions that can poke very well with Ezreal, because Ezreal doesn't really have a lot of lane presence in the laning phase, and his wave clear is not really that great. So the way you do want to synergize with Ezreal as a support is trying to synergize on the things that he's lacking. And like I said, it's lane presence. And if you have a support that can poke a lot, that takes off a lot of load on Ezreal, and he can just farm and try to deep push the wave if they're trying to push in the first place. Sona can do that very well. Zyra is very good at it. Karma is actually one of my favorite picks when we look at the A tier. Talia is not really a support, but we know that back in the day a lot of people played her as a support, and it works out really great with Ezreal as well. And then we have Brand, Fiddlesticks, and Lux. Fiddle is actually such an annoying champion to play against because I don't really need to talk about it, but he does really well with Ezreal. And if I had to pick support here, it would be Nami, Karma, and Fiddle, most likely. Because Nami has that buff. I don't know her names. I don't know the spell names, but she basically gives you a buff where you can debuff the enemy, you can slow them, and you E in, auto attack Q, and you get 3 procs, and you just back off and you win the trade, and she can still sustain you after that. I'm not going to talk about all the AD carries, all the supports. You get the basic idea. Now I will move on to the B tier, and I will just talk about a few of them. First of all, I want to talk about Nautilus, because Nautilus at the moment, in my opinion, is S tier support in general, especially with Kai'Sa, for example. But with Ezreal, I don't really put him that high because he doesn't really synergize well. Of course, if you hit a hook, then you can basically go all in from there on. But in the laning phase, if the enemy pushes you in, or if they have a freeze and they're zoning you, there's not really a lot a Nautilus can do. He can only go all in. He cannot really do anything besides that. And if they have the upper hand, then he will look like he's AFK in lane. And the same goes with other peel champions as well. Well, lane champions, I mean. For example, Leona, maybe Thresh. Thresh is a little better in some cases. But yeah, there you have it. Lulu also very good support, but just not on Ezreal, because with the Lulu you really want a hyper AD carry. Think of Zaya, Ashe, Caitlyn, Kai'Sa, champions like that, Vayne, and not an Ezreal who basically throws stuff at you with his abilities. Then we have Soraka. Soraka, I actually want to put her in A tier, but the reason I didn't is because most people don't play consistent enough with Soraka to be able to fit the role as an A tier, in my opinion. There are very good Sorakas out there which can play very aggressive, but I just don't see them too often, and therefore I put her in B tier. Then we have Bart, Taric, and Gragas, which actually could be A tier in my opinion as well. I would only pick Taric if you have a DOQ mate which you can coordinate with, so you get that stun and you E in with Ezreal, so you get that instant stun going on. Bart, I don't know about Bart players, they seem weird, but it can be very good. Just again, out of my experience, they just don't have that consistency compared to other AD carries. And Gragas is already like just like Talia, not really a support pick, but sometimes he does get picked and it can work. Doesn't always work, but yeah. Now we move over to the C tier, and these are the champions I wouldn't really recommend in first place for him. So those are Alistar, Zilean, Tahm Kench, and Pyke. Now Pyke and Alistar are very aggressive supports, while Zilean and Tahm are a little bit more passive. Zilean could be played aggressive as well, but in general you want him for his ultimate, which means that you need to get picked off, need to die in order for it to have effect. Tahm Kench also pretty passive support. Usually pick that against maybe an Ashe or a heavy CC comp, so you can get out. And Alistar and Pyke are really aggressive all-in champions, and I do not really like to play with them because Pyke will go in, stun in the middle of the wave, Alistar in the middle of the wave. I do not like that. That's the way I play Ezreal, by the way. There could be other players that would love those champions, so yeah, this is just my opinion. And in the end, we have the trash tier. As you can see, that's Blitzcrank. Never pick Blitzcrank with any AD carry. That's it, guys. Hope you guys found this useful. And yeah, let me know what you guys think. If you think that another support should actually be S tier or whatever, if you agree or not. And yeah, don't forget to subscribe. I hope to see you guys next time.